Hi YouTube, good evening. This is your girl Amira. It is Thursday, February 23rd. I am conducting another video vlog regarding um, some things that I wanted to talk about that I wasn't able to discuss in my previous videos. Um, I since I already talked about like the domestic violence part one and part two, I wanted to go a little deeper. And the reason why I wanted to expose this was because I just think it's important for my viewers to know where I came from, like where I was at in December of 2015 to where I'm at now. And I just wanted to share with you my story, um, and just let you know that, you know, I hit rock bottom and I'm working my way back up, and I'm almost where I would like to be. So I just think it's like no matter where you are in life, as long as you have, the determination, and you're focused and you're very goal oriented and you don't allow people or situations to get in your way, you can pretty much accomplish anything that you want. Um, First, I wanted to discuss with you something that's really, really personal to me that I haven't yet discussed on YouTube. It's it's kind of embarrassing, but at the same time, it's not. I don't know. It's just weird. I just felt like it's time for me to come out and say it. Um, December 31st, when I was still legally married to my ex-husband. If you watch my domestic violence part one and part two, it'll click for you to understand why I'm talking about this on my third video. If you haven't watched my first and second video, I highly suggest you do. Then you'll understand what I attempted to do, what I did, to the point where I'm at now. So what I'm about to reveal to you is pretty intense, and I just don't want you to get like overwhelmed or scared. I need to let this out so that viewers can understand my ups and downs when I was married and then when I separated and divorced. So I'm gonna just come out and say it. December 31st, 2015, I almost committed suicide with my husband's gun. I was at a point where he had taken complete control over me as far as like mental, emotional. The abuse played a huge part as well. But I was just at the point where he had complete control over me, and I felt like I had nothing left. Like I had no self-esteem, I had no confidence. I felt like a loser. He made me feel like a loser. So, yeah, I December 31st, I almost committed suicide. And that's unlike me, especially being I knew I know who I am, and I know what I'm capable of and not capable of doing, but I still did it. Meaning attempted to committing suicide. Like I attempted to, but I never had the guts to actually go forward with it. Um, that was really a big eye opener for me. And then as 2016 started, 2016 was not a good year for me. I mean, it started off really, really bad, and then it just kept going down. So 2016 was a really crazy year for me. More ups than I'm sorry, more downs than ups, should I say? More downs than ups. Um, so as of 2016, I ended up getting separated from him. We were legally separated from like April because I left in March. I left like the end of March, and I drove down from Napa all the way down to San Diego to be with my family, my parents, because that was the only support system that I had, um, other than my friends. But I moved. I packed up all my stuff, broke as can be. Um, I had very little money to my name, and he was just being him. I I left. I decided to leave, and I never looked back. Um, so 2016 was a pretty bad year for me. Um, I I almost ended up homeless. I actually did end up homeless. I ended up homeless for like I was homeless for like 3 months, I guess, 2 or 3 months. I don't exactly recall when, but I was working here in Oregon, and I'll get into that in a second. But I was homeless, and my family, like my siblings, they were very unsupportive of me, especially 'cause, as I said, the fact that I'm Arab, and there's no such thing as divorce in the Arab culture. Like it's just a big no-no. So anyway, so 2016, March, let's see, between March to, I'd say, July, I was living in San Diego and going through therapy and all that good stuff. Um, I needed to move. I needed to move away from all the negativity, all the BS, everything. So I looked into moving to a different state, whether it was either going to be Oregon, excuse me, either Oregon or Colorado. I looked into both states, looked into like the cost of living and whatnot, and I went and checked out Oregon, and I went and checked out Oregon, and I mean I like Oregon, and I thought, okay, I could settle down here for maybe a year, I don't know. Um, Came in, started working here for about 3 months, and then I thought to myself, okay, well, I I could see myself living here for a little bit, just not a long time, just enough until I'm done with school and, pay off all the debt that I accumulated when I was married. So I, being that I knew nobody, I didn't know a soul here. I was all by myself. So when I meet people now and I tell them my story, they're astonished because, especially as a woman, I think it's just like regardless of my ethnicity, just a woman in general, leaving a different state where you're born and raised, and you come to a different state where you don't know anybody. It's scary because you're starting off brand new. So I moved to Oregon in December, just like December 1st. I moved here of 2016, and I've been here since December. um I I'm sorry, let me rewind a little bit. When I went to therapy, my therapist was telling me to make a vision board. And one of my best friends told me, make a vision board, it works, which actually it really does. So I decided to make a vision board. And the vision board talks about, what are your aspirations? What do you want? What goals do you want to go after? Like, what do you see yourself in the next 15, 20 years? So I started making a vision board for 2016, 2017, and then 2018 to 2028. So, and believe me, the vision board works because I'm just I'm just grabbing life by the horns right now, and I'm just pretty much dominating everything, and I'm almost done paying off my debt. Applying for scholarships left and right. I mean, I haven't got any yet, but I'm still applying. It doesn't hurt to try and apply. Every little bit counts, but I just I went from rock bottom to now having my own apartment, almost paying down my debt, um, and doing well in school. Finally, already divorced. Divorced in October, so I'm very newly divorced. Um, It's only been, let's see, October, November, December, January, February. It's only been 4 months, so I'm still very newly single. I am not going to therapy anymore just because I feel like, honestly, I feel like it's, for me, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work because I've been through therapy on and off for like, mm, how long? It's been years. It's been a few years since I've been to therapy, and I honestly feel like you're sitting there and you're talking about your problems and about other things and personal issues, and they're just sitting there. They're just like, mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So how are you working to improve on that? And then and just a lot of mm-hmm. Oh, okay. And the whole time you're sitting there listening to talking to the therapist or psychologist, they're looking at their watch because you're paying them for their time. You only get 50 minutes to an hour. Sometimes they'll be nice and they'll give you an extra 15 minutes. Depends on if they like you or not. If they don't like you, they'll say, okay, well, our 45 minutes is up. So I went through that. I went through therapy for a consecutive, religiously. I went to therapy for like a good 7 months, like back to back every single week. Was it twice a week? Twice a week. And I mean, it did help in a way, but it didn't. It's hard for me to describe it. It's just therapy is not for everybody. Some people go to therapy and they love it and they it works out for them. And some people, for me, it just doesn't work out for me. For me, my therapy is having a nice glass of wine and writing and listening to my music at the gym, or taking myself to go get pampered. I have my different ways of therapy for myself, and I just found out that that works best for me. um I It's hard, like I said, it's hard for me to describe why I don't like therapy that much. It's weird. um I just feel like obviously it's only about the money, duh. It's like a business, but I just felt like I wasn't getting, I really needed to talk to someone that I know that knows me versus just someone that I'm paying $15 copay and they only see you for an hour. It's just, it didn't feel compassionate, didn't feel legit, and all I got was, mm-hmm. Oh, okay. And why did you do that? What triggered you to make that decision? What triggered you to, da 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 da? It's like, okay. And they say, okay, well, our time is up now. We'll see you next week. Like, that's it. And I'm just like, that's all I get? Like, ugh, I don't know. It was frustrating. And I decided not to go anymore just because I felt like, okay, you know what? I could do this positive thinking on my own, and I can figure this out on my own. I'm a grown woman. I can do this by myself. So, as I said, I'll say it again. Therapy is not for everybody. Some people like it and they go for years and they benefit from it. Some people, it's not for me. Um, so I, being that I'm 34 now, I just turned 34 like, what, 2 weeks ago. It feels weird. And now that I'm single, I do get asked out multiple times, but I reject them because I have to stay focused on what I really want. I want to finish school. I want to sit for the CPA exam. I want to pay off my debt. I want to, save money to get a house. There's so many things that I want to do. And I can't do that when I've got so much on my plate, like YouTubing and like this new startup company that I'm working on. And, I'm going to be doing amateur stand-up comedy soon. Um, Wait, I think I just said that. I just said that. But, you know, it's been a really crazy year. Last year was insane for me. I went from being married or engaged, then married, then going through really, really bad hardship, mental and financial and everything, the domestic violence, and then losing it all, and almost committing suicide, and then up again. It's just like, it was just very, like, it was a roller coaster. So I I just really hope that everything that I'm saying on here, that my story and all my struggles, everything that I'm exposing to you, I hope you take it with a grain of salt, and understand that this was not easy for me to expose. You know, I mean, at one point it was embarrassing for me to tell people, yeah, almost committed suicide. And usually people that do that they suffer from depression, and I don't suffer from depression. I'm not a person that holds those characteristics. I guess that's the right word to say. I just I was just going through a really tough time, and I felt like I was at the very bottom and I didn't know how to rise up again. So, um now I'm doing really good in school. I'm about 9 classes away from being done with my bachelor's in accounting. I'm so close to paying off my debt and being completely debt free, well, except for my student loans. Applying for scholarships for student loans, and just, just taking it day by day and working really hard. Um, so yeah, and a lot of people say that moving from one state to another, especially as a single woman, it's mind blowing, and they say that it takes a lot of guts to do what I did. I just think that I'm a very strong person. I've been through a lot of BS in my life. I've been through, relationships. I've been engaged. I've been married. I've had a boyfriend. I've been burnt by friends that I thought that were really my friends. So I've been through some really rough crap in my life. And maybe I think that's why I'm so strong-willed, and I'm able to move from one state to another just like that, and acclimate myself into a completely different culture and into a new apartment where I know nobody, like literally nobody. And now I know a bunch of people. And Oregon, I'll tell you something about Oregon. Oregon's a beautiful, gorgeous state, but I'm not in love with Oregon. Um, I'll tell you why I'm not in love with Oregon. It rains too much. It rains a lot. Like a lot. I'm not used to this much rain, especially because I'm a Cali girl. Like, I'm from California. California, I mean, it rains, but it doesn't rain like Oregon. The cost of living here is cheaper. The people are very interesting. I'll just put it that way. They're very interesting in Oregon. Oregon has a ton of liberals and not a lot of conservatives. And it's just a different culture. It's a culture shock here. If you come from, whether it's California or from a different state, and you moved here to Oregon, it's a huge culture shock, because there's obviously there's a lot of Caucasian people here, but it's a mix. It's a mix of like Asian and mostly Caucasian. There's a huge Hispanic community, but mostly Caucasian, and I it's just different. I don't know how to explain it. Oregon is just different. There are some really nice people here in Oregon. There are some really mean people here in Oregon. And the drivers, they suck. Like, you think California drivers suck? People here, like, the drivers here are not good drivers. And there are car accidents all day, every day. Like, there's always a car accident on the road. Would I want to stay in Oregon? I would not want to stay here in Oregon. I just want to be here to finish school and work, and get on with my life, and move back to California, where it's beautiful and sunny and it's happy, you know. Um so yeah, I don't plan on being here that long. Um well, anyway, that concludes my next video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. I hope I didn't bore you. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. And subscribe to the link at the bottom, please. I'd really appreciate some followers and some subscribers, and questions. I'd love to answer and interact with some of my subscribers. So anyway, have a good night and see you guys soon.